Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I'm your host, Christian, the unbiased king, Espinal. And joining me through Discord, it is the man, the myth, the legend. It is Joshua, Gangsta Time Code.
It's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
What up, Chris? What's good, everybody listening? Happy to be here.
Yeah, and you know who else is happy to be here? The triumphant return of our producer, Edgelord, Big News Brian.
What's up, nerds?
Hey, he's back. He's back and better than ever with a vengeance. Thank you guys for joining us on this week of New Jump City. We got a full lineup of manga to talk about this week, so let's not waste any goddamn time and get some plugs going. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. You can also check out my other podcast, The Shweekly. Fun times. Do that. Josh, where can they find you?
At JD Cole _37 on Instagram and at New Jump City Josh on Twitter.
Hey, Brian.
You can find me at b.esb on both Instagram and Twitter. And if you ever want to catch me when I'm streaming, you can find me at twitch.tv/itspunchline.
Yeah, do that. You can also follow.
Oh, you can also find me streaming on Twitter at YoungXX Barcelino.
Is that your Twitch stream name?
Young XX Barcelino.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to add that to your
big
nickname.
X then a little X.
Oh, just to be extra annoying? Yeah, go do that. Go follow Josh's streaming. Are you really streaming?
No,
I
I
made that
feel like he's trolling right now.
Oh, he's just trolling. You should stream, Josh, honestly. Is there anybody who'd probably be good at it?
True.
No response. He doesn't want to do it.
Delay.
What? Why'd you say delay? You know, we're over that. Anyway, you can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. You can also email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. Please send us your questions. We're back doing the pre-show chat show that we love doing, so we'd love to answer some questions there. So email us. Or you can comment under the video that you're watching, whether on YouTube. Give us a like, share, subscribe on that. That'll be super cool. We're still only audio at the moment, so if you actually kind of like that, if that more floats your boat anyway, you can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. That's Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. We're all up in that. So, get in on it. And yeah, that's all the plugs for now. Let's get into the show. One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1100. Thank you, Bonnie. Last we left off, we had seen that Vegapunk and Kuma have struck up a deal so that Vegapunk would heal Bonnie in exchange for Kuma becoming a pacifista, a soldier, a cyborg clone soldier that would allow for there would be peaceful, for it to be like basically human shields for the public and be basically soldiers of peace that aren't necessarily used for fighting, more for protection. And yeah, that's where we left off. But apparently, the celestial dragon, Jay Garcia. I keep almost saying like Jay Saturn, but Jay Garcia has caught wind of this and has decided to be a real fucking hater and intervene. This chapter opens up with Borsellino on Egghead on Jay Garcia's behalf.
Young
Borsellino, XX young Borsellino is there. And he's there as like, talking in favor of Jay Garcia. I just got distracted by the fact that X Drake is also there, it seems.
Yeah, X Drake is there too, yeah.
This was when he was a Marine. Oh, well, he is a Marine, but back when he was like an official member of the Marines, it seems. Oda just wanted to point that out, I guess. That X Drake.
I feel like X Drake is going to be is going to be a much bigger deal later when we get more information on Sword and the Revolutionaries.
We do know a little bit about his like childhood. Like his dad, I think, was a criminal or a corrupt Marine before he joined when he was a kid. It was way back in like the Dressrosa thing where we got a little snapshot of that. But anyway, X Drake is there. And Jay Garcia explains that like it may not matter to you, Vegapunk, but Bartholomew Kuma's suitability to be model of cloned soldiers or he's not suitable to be that because he's a pirate with a 296 million berry bounty, and it would shame the Navy for to use a guy like this as a clone soldier. So I have some conditions for you, Kuma. And he says basically the three conditions is that he'll join the warlords because apparently Ace beat one of the warlords in his youth. And the second condition being that he will be a weapon for the Navy. And that would involve him eventually abandoning his free mind and will. Vegapunk takes big umbrage with this because all he really wanted.
Real quick, I want to know who the fuck this warlord that Ace beat is.
Me too.
Because like they never talk about who it is. They never talk about it, and they've mentioned it twice now, I think.
I guess it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but
it also adds to the fact that both Luffy and Ace are kind of like warlord slayers, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I just wonder who the fuck it is. Like, was it Shiki?
Maybe.
It could have been Shiki.
It could have been Shiki, but I feel like we would have known Shiki was a warlord at one point.
You'd be surprised. They don't tell us a lot of things.
Well, we know it's Oda, so there's a chance we might actually find out who it was.
I hope we do.
But yeah, Vegapunk gets big mad, and he's like, "Boy, you're asking him to die, basically. You're removing the human will and just turning him into a fucking robot. You're asking me to kill this man." And Jay Garcia is like, "I don't give a fuck."
He's like, "Am I talking to you, nigga?
Am I talking to you?" I was talking to Kuma. He said, "These are my three conditions. That because we have no obligation to put up such massive funds to save one little girl." Fucking Celeste, fucking five elders are brutal. And Vegapunk keeps arguing on Kuma's behalf. But he says, Kuma seems like disturbed by this, but he's actually like crying in relief because like, "Thank you. I would gladly accept any fate if it means curing Bonnie's illnesses." So, Vegapunk is shocked. Borsellino's like, "Damn." And basically they start breaking down the details of the situation. For Vegapunk, it would take about like a year and a half altogether to cure Bonnie, and Kuma's procedure would take 2 years at the very least. So, Bonnie would end up being cured before her 10th birthday. And Jay Garcia adds that like, they will be keeping an eye on Bonnie the whole time until he loses his will entirely, kind of as a hostage. Vegapunk takes up the argument again that like, wait, they'll never see each other before Kuma basically dies, and Jay Garcia is like, yes. Anyway, yes, okay, and he says that you will be forbidden from contacting your daughter or escaping the procedure. If you violate that order, your daughter will be turned into a slave. And Kuma immediately basically agrees. He's like, I'll never meet with her, but I have one request. That as long as you guys are keeping an eye on Bonnie, please just let her live in comfort. Let her live where she grew up, basically, in the Sorbet Kingdom, in the church. And he says, if you promise me that, I will never go visit her, and I will do exactly as you command me. And Jay Garcia is like, all right. As long as it doesn't matter, as long as she's under watch, it doesn't matter where. And the next few pages, here's a couple details. Basically, it's a big montage moment where Kuma tells Bonnie that he's also going to go under treatment for the same thing. He basically lies to her, because this is devastating news, ostensibly, that her dad is sacrificing his life for her. And meanwhile, Vegapunk, we see the little kernels of inspiration that give way to the eventual creation of the satellites, as Vegapunk is just working hard on building this, on like creating the soldiers in his mind. He's like, oh, if only I had 5 more people with me. Obviously the satellites. We see a little montage of the 6 months that took place, where Kuma's staying on Egghead and getting operated on, and Bonnie's recovery process as well. And yeah, in another year, a year passes, and Bonnie is allowed to go back. Oh wait, no, it's not even that. 6 months passes. Bonnie is allowed to go back to the Sorbet Kingdom, and for the remainder of her treatment. And yeah, everybody's excited to have Bonnie back. Kuma's like, thank you for watching her. I'm a pirate now, so I can't stay in this country. I don't think I'll be back for at least a year. So, he says goodbye to Bonnie, basically, and promises her that next time they're together, we'll go and see the horizon at the sea. Just adding the sadness to the question that he always asks everybody of where they would like to go if they could go on vacation. That it really just means he wanted to go on vacation with Bonnie. Oh, I'm gonna cry. At that moment, we see the Cypher Pole agent known as Alpha walk in, disguised as a nurse, basically. They're going to be taking care of Bonnie as well as keeping an eye on her. If Kuma comes back, they also casually threaten her life. And Kuma's like, relax, I'm not coming back. So, he thanks Bonnie for being born, and he leaves. And we get, the other warlords' reaction to Kuma becoming a warlord of the sea, including Doflamingo, Crocodile, Mihawk. We see Alvida and abusing Kobe. Man, this wasn't that long ago then.
Guys,
how long is Kobe?
Everybody listening?
This is at least
this
like
wasn't that long ago.
6 months before the. No, this is like a year and 6 months before
the story.
Series.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then.
Because I think only 6 months
everybody listening
after the deal. What you say, Josh?
I want everyone listening to know that Oda putting Alvida there made Chris happier than y'all could ever imagine.
I don't know if it made me happier than anyone could imagine.
And honestly, man, I'm envious of the sort of joy you get when Oda does these type of things.
Is that what the thing? Is that what you think I felt?
Yeah.
It's nice to see Doflamingo again.
Yeah, and Crocodile with Robin.
Yeah, but we've seen Crocodile recently. We haven't seen Doflamingo in a bit.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it made me feel any type of joy. It just made me wonder. It's like, oh, the timeline's interesting. Was
Jinbei a warlord at this point?
Yeah, I think he would have been at this point. Or he might have been. I don't know. Maybe not.
Oh, look at Whitebeard and Ace.
Yeah, Whitebeard and Ace are there. Blackbeard is there too. Boa Hancock doesn't care. Jinbei brings up the fact that there were basically two kings on the world in the pirate world now.
Dude, Ace is so much cooler in flashbacks, man. Like everything that we learn about Ace, like the shit that he's done makes him so much cooler. Like when we were looking at him now.
Bro's a legend.
It's a shame that we couldn't get any of that while he was alive.
Yeah. So we even see Moria.
Who gives a fuck about that guy?
You don't care about Moria?
Nobody cares about Moria.
I care.
I care about Moria.
You really care about Moria?
Yeah.
I think he's cool.
Yeah, why didn't you
I want to see him come back again.
What's your
He's
beef?
whack as fuck.
No, he's not.
His power is
so
dope.
lame.
Whack as fuck?
Yes, whack as fuck.
As fuck.
As fuck, yes.
That's a little much.
He doesn't do shit compared to every other warlord.
He had a whole arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a whole arc where he was
Mihawk
at.
hasn't even had
He
an
was
arc.
stuck. His whole plan was for him personally to not really do shit.
Yeah. But he did end up doing shit personally.
Yeah, and then guess what? He got smoked. And then ever since then, he's been really fucking lame.
But that's what happens to everyone.
No, Crocodile showed up to Marineford and squared up with literally everybody.
Yeah, but in I didn't see him doing everything himself in Alabasta.
Yeah, but then he came out and he was like, all right, time to throw some hands. And he almost won.
I don't agree. I like Moria.
Moria's lame as hell. He's easily the worst warlord, in my opinion. And Weevil exists.
Weevil's pretty strong, dude.
Yeah. And Weevil is still cooler than fucking than Moria.
I don't know about that one. We also see a little bit of Dragon here. He's like, I'm still not going to show my true feelings on anything because I am an enigma still. You can't know too much about me yet.
It's a tough bird in the bear.
Yeah. Being a character who still has to be a mystery 1,100 chapters in. Hey, by the way, this is exactly 1,000 chapters from the chapter that Dragon was introduced.
Yeah.
No way.
Yep. Chapter 100 was when Dragon was introduced.
That's pretty wild. And we still don't know anything about him.
Well, you know something.
Well, it's at least the very first time we've seen him.
In the Navy at one point.
Yeah, we do know he was sometime in the Navy for some unallotted time. Sabo and Koala also react in surprise to the fact that Kuma has become a warlord of the sea. And the chapter ends with Kuma sending a letter to Bonnie, about how it's difficult because he's famous on top of being a pirate. But he's like, how is everyone? While I'm traveling the world, I'll find many places to take you once you've turned 10. And I did notice that his flag is actually the picture that Bonnie drew of him. Which is very cute.
So cute.
It's very cute. And it seems like the chapter ends. We see Luffy, doing his little training. But it seems that actually Kuma is pulling up to Windmill Village, it looks like, where Luffy is from.
Fuchsia Village.
Fuchsia Village. Is Fuchsia Japanese for windmill?
I don't know.
It might be.
Let's find out. Fuchsia. Meaning. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So it's
Dragon
Windmill
looks so different.
I
went back to chapter 100.
Hello?
Does he look different?
I think he was just cloaked, so we didn't really see him.
Just the art,
Yeah, it's also the art change.
Art
The
is
art
so
has gotten
different.
way better.
But anyway, it seems that Kuma is pulling up to Luffy's hometown, and that's where the chapter ends. Wowee, Josh, what did you think about One Piece chapter 1100?
Don't know, Walt.
Enjoyable. What can I say? Let me scroll back to it. Well, we got our explanation for how Kuma got turned into an android and the conditions that led to it. It was a lot more straightforward than I thought it would be, but it makes sense. I'm relatively satisfied on that reveal. It's this arc is put together really well because all these characters kind of synergize with each other, and it's pointing us into I think we already know that this arc is like pointing us in the direction of the end game, like since they're revealing so many things. But and Kuma's a real nigga times a million, and Bonnie better not throw her life away in this fight after everything he went through.
Yeah, it would
I
be...
hope she gets to travel the world.
Yeah.
That'll probably be her dream when she joins the Straw Hat Pirates. She's gonna put her foot up on the barrel with everybody else, and they're gonna do it one more time and state what's their purpose. What do they want to do?
Were you
And
just
she's
reminded
gonna
of
do
that
that.
from the 100th chapter?
No, that wasn't in the 100th chapter, was it?
I think so. But it was also
I
in
think so.
it was also in the live action.
In the anime.
And the
Yeah, in the live action, I mean. Yeah. So that's what made me think of it. But they got to do that again with all the crewmates, including the new one, Bonnie.
You're gonna need a bigger barrel.
And yes, I have given up on Wet Hair Caribou joining the crew
No.
officially.
Don't give up, Josh. He's technically still in the ship.
It's okay. No, not anymore.
No, he is.
Sure? Didn't he go somewhere else?
Nope.
When they
I think they implied that he's still in the ship, no?
I gotta check.
Like he's in a
I'd have to
barrel.
check that out. Nah, I think he switched ships or went somewhere else. When Luffy, the Metal Kid, Eustace Kid, and Law, when they went their separate directions, they showed Caribou, and I think he went somewhere else.
Nope. He says Luffy let Caribou hitch a ride on the Thousand Sunny with the Straw Hats to Egghead.
Oh, he let him?
Yeah.
Oh, Caribou was there. Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh, yeah, shit. Maybe Caribou. Well, he doesn't have a backstory. Anyway. Brian, what are your thoughts?
RGC.
Oh. Here you go.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
This flashback is so fucking sad, man. It's so sad and heartbreaking to read because, man, Kuma is such a fucking nice guy, and he would do anything to absorb the pain for everybody else, and the Marines took advantage of that. Well, not the Marines, but the world government took advantage of that, and it's so sad to see it happen like this. But I feel like this chapter is kind of setting up Bonnie to join the Straw Hats, if I had to guess.
I wouldn't be surprised, I guess.
Because this flashback is pretty Straw Hat-esque. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if...
Vivi never had a flashback this rich and potent.
No.
Vivi is technically a Straw Hat, though.
No, she's not.
Yeah, she is. She's technically a Straw Hat.
In your dreams, Brian.
Honorary, I would say.
Yeah, she's like an honorary.
In your
Straw
head
Hat.
canon, maybe.
Do you not believe so? They said they would let her ride with them at
No.
any point.
Yeah, she's basically a Straw Hat. But
She almost
What's
joined.
her role? To be the fucking princess and pet person
she's like their
with
diplomat.
her duck?
And it's also what's Bonnie's role going to be?
Like an apprentice.
Bonnie also Robin doesn't have a traditional like pirate crew role.
She's a researcher.
She's an
Yeah, I
archaeologist.
feel
She's
like
the historian.
I feel like Vivi would be like
She gives
a
them purpose.
like a diplomat for the Straw Hats, like a person who negotiates for them or some shit. Because they're at that point now where they're so big that having someone who knows how to speak to higher powers is pretty valuable. But it's not like she's actually going to join the pirate crew anyway, like officially.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But I feel like I wouldn't be surprised after this flashback if the Straw Hats get 2 or 3 new members in this one arc. Or at least have like 3 new people riding their ship alongside them.
Well,
Like
like
this-
Vegapunks and all the satellites, and also Bonnie.
No, I think Lilith is going to be the only one to make it off of Egghead,
Damn,
in
that'd
my
be sad.
opinion.
That'd be
I
depressing.
think it's gonna be Lilith. I think it's
Final
gonna be Bonnie
destination shit.
and maybe Kuma. Join the Straw Hats, or at least ride the ship.
Well, Kuma's not with them.
Uma?
Kuma's going to show up, I feel like,
Maybe.
because we don't know where his other
Oh my
where he
God.
sent himself.
Yo, if he does pull up to Egghead, oh my god. And like he's able to get cured. And then he's like, Luffy, I will join you and be your revolutionary fighter. And cool guy too.
Yeah, because he's
Frankie's
he
gonna have
fucks
to
with
hold
Nika.
that.
He fucks with Nika, and Luffy is Nika, so
Yeah.
it just makes
Yeah.
sense.
And Jewelry Bonnie, listen, her role is gonna be to look the least like Nami.
Hmm.
And
I think Robin already has
um,
that role. Fuck.
I
He
think
can make everybody over the age of 21 so that they can all go into bars and shit.
I think Luffy's not. I think Luffy might be one of the few of them who is under 21. Because Nami and
Yeah.
and Zoro are older
Big
than
deal,
him.
that's their captain.
I think Nami and Zoro are older than him for sure. I know Zoro's like 21 probably by now. So is
so.
Nami.
Post time skip, Luffy is 19.
Yeah, I know that. I know Luffy is among the younger ones. Usopp's probably 19 too, right? Or is he older?
Let me see. Usopp age. Usopp is also 19.
Oh, yeah, no, I figured he was his age. Zoro's 21. I'm pretty sure of that one.
Yeah, Straw Hats.
Sanji
hold on.
is probably 20. I think he's not as old as Zoro.
Hold on, I'm looking right now at all their ages. Okay, so Luffy's 19, Zoro's 21, Nami's 20, Usopp's 19, Sanji's 21,
Chopper's 15, I think.
Chopper's 17,
Nice.
Robin's 30, Frankie's 36, Brooke is 90, Jinbei is 46.
Oh, it's younger than I thought.
Guess what? Vivi's on this list. So
She's 21.
get shit on, Josh.
How old is Jinbei? What?
Jinbei's 46.
Damn.
Speaking of, I just got past Jinbei's flashback in my reread, and oh my fucking god,
I just
I
finished Skypiea.
forgot. I forgot how sick Jinbei's flashback is. That flashback was amazing. But yeah, Vivi's 18. So Vivi is a straw hat.
Vivi's 18?
Yeah, Vivi's 18.
Oh, wow. She looks just like Nami, so I thought she was Nami's age.
Life is despair.
And Zeus doesn't have an
It's
age.
despair. That's a little dramatic, don't you think, Josh?
BRB, I'm going to get water and also contemplate things.
All right. Well,
But yeah, what I still am. I'm still an avid supporter that Kizaru might join the Straw Hats too.
I don't know about that one, buddy.
I don't know, man.
I don't
Think about it.
I don't
They
know,
said that an event would happen that shakes the earth. An admiral joining a pirate crew would be a pretty big deal.
I don't know about that one, buddy.
All I'm saying, that does sound like something that would shake the earth is Kizaru joining the Straw Hats.
I don't know about that one, buddy.
Dude, if it just makes sense. It just makes sense.
Brian, is that all you're saying, or is that all you're super saying?
That's all I'm super saying, and I ain't losing to Superman if that's
All right,
what
you gotta.
do.
All right, so you gotta stand on that, Brian.
I am standing on that. And hey,
And you gotta- and you
I
gotta
haven't
respect
been
that, Chris.
wrong. I've never been wrong before.
All right.
That's
I've been
not
nothing
true.
but right lately.
It's objectively not true. We've been wrong.
I have been nothing
in reverse
but right
world,
lately.
in the reverse universe. Yes.
Yeah.
Was there a Jujutsu Kaisen chapter this week?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So I was right last week about what would happen.
You weren't here last week.
Yeah, but I was right.
You
I
wasn't
was
right about anything ever.
I was right. I said Yuta is gonna come in and finish the job, and guess what happened? Yuta showed up and finished
We
the
were
job.
all right. Nobody was wrong about that. We all said that.
No, you didn't. I said it. I said it.
Listen,
We
And
said
now-
it. I know I said it.
I think Kizaru is going to join the Straw Hats, and I think it makes sense, and it will happen.
Okay. You heard it here first.
It just makes sense.
We'll see.
All right, that's all my thoughts.
young Barcelona got the juice, so I could see that happening. But
I think there's a interesting parallel here being drawn between Kizaru.
I'm still shell shocked.
I think there's something interesting here about like Kizaru kind of being like doing what he's told and like kind of submitting his will willingly to like, you know, to do everything he's told and basically sell his soul. And Kuma's like ability to stay true to himself and what he wants. That is interesting in between that. It brings shock to like Kizaru, I think. Because I think Kizaru has just resigned himself for the most part to his job, and has
It's
abdicated
almost
himself.
like he needs to be freed.
Yeah,
And
maybe.
it's almost like there's a warrior liberation on the Straw Hats.
Maybe.
Just saying.
Maybe. And hey, he was there. It does seem like he's dancing. The Nika dance.
Oh,
that's all
Blackbeard
I'm
was there
saying.
too.
Hey, listen. All I'm saying is it just makes sense. Everything is kind of lining up for Kizaru to join the Straw Hats. That's all I'm saying.
We'll see. But yeah, that's what I wanted to draw. I think that's a cool little juxtaposition there between the two characters. Otherwise, I thought this was like a interesting chapter. It was good. You know, it just felt like kind of a transitioning type of thing, you know, like establishing the rules of Kuma's, you know, agreement to become a warlord. And that was all well and good. It was cool to see everybody across the world reacting to it and, you know, putting a timetable to where we were. I can't help but think there's going to be one last depressing twist to this, because one rule in One Piece: if you're in a flashback and you're a good person, there's nothing but infinite suffering waiting for you. So
Yeah.
You're gonna get fucked.
I might use that as a drop somewhere. I might add that to the soundboard.
You're gonna get fucked.
You're gonna get fucked.
Real trap shit. Trapaholics.
Yeah.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
What's that?
You never heard that before?
I may have.
Oh, from the mixtapes. And like, all right, well, what you want?
Yeah, but those are all my thoughts. It should be interesting to see what he does on Luffy's hometown. If they'll like inadvertently cross paths. Although Luffy's in the jungle by this point, so I don't see how they would.
Dragon's probably just like chilling, keeping an eye on his son for a bit, and ask Kuma to meet him there.
That would be pretty sick if Kuma.
What?
if-
The
that-
Ito verse.
Hmm?
What's the Itoverse?
What are you talking about?
What?
Horror?
Oh,
What's on
Junji
his
Ito.
site?
You don't know who Junji Ito is?
Nope.
Prominent horror mangaka. He makes a lot of horror series.
I didn't know that. Pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, those are all my thoughts. Do you guys have any rebuttals or anything?
Hold on.
Yeah. Time to get into My Hero.
It sure is. We got to move on for sure?
Yeah.
Let's go. My Hero Academia. This is My Hero Academia chapter 408, The Eyes Tell All. Last we left off.
Alternate title.
Okay.
I forgot it.
Wow. Wow.
I think it was something along the lines of give me your hand, part 1.
Mm.
But I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I lost it.
Well,
Sorry, guys.
no, it's good. This is good. Last we left.
Oh, it was supposed to be take my
Jesus
hand,
Christ.
but whatever.
Take. Yeah, he did take his hand. It's
It
pretty
was you know, yeah,
pretty good.
You remember.
It's pretty good. I remember.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, this chapter starts off where we left off in this flashback with All for One and One for All and their origin. And it ended with, I guess, the original user of All for One or One for All. I keep fucking mixing that up, man. I'll never get around the first try. One for All escaping with the second user of One for All, and it seems that he was transferring his quirk onto the second user of One for All. But in that moment, this chapter opens up with apparently All for One blowing up his brother in a very
vanquishing him.
Yeah.
Obliterating him before everyone's very eyes.
Yeah. Everybody's like, whoa.
Look at the expression on this motherfucker's face.
Yeah, this is probably a pretty brutal fucking panel.
Yeah.
This should be in the Itoverse.
It is in the. It should be in the Itoverse. Into the Itoverse.
Featuring All for One.
Yeah. So, you know, I guess they look at each other and these guys manage to get away. And we cut over to All for One in his big, gigantic tower where only he is eating dinner by himself. And he has his brother's hand remaining. And he's thinking to himself, the meta ability I granted him is all gone. You know, I never observed such a thing before. And he's like, that my own power confirms that there's no meta ability left in Yoichi. I wonder if I had somehow stolen his power too when I was too young to be aware of it. But yeah. No further examination showed that he did have one. So like, whoa. As if the factor never quite took form when it should have due to malnourishment. Did it somehow activate itself? So he thought his brother was quirkless for a long time and then realized that right before he died, his quirk had activated. So that's weird. And probably because he was underfeeding him, it seems.
Malnourishing him.
Yeah, malnourishing his brother. So we cut to the first.
Especially heinous.
Yeah, it's fucked up. We cut to the second and third users of One for All who are kind of discussing it, and you know, he says the third user is like, you mentioned something about your body feeling off. Since then, I'm surprised you even noticed. You've got two factors in you, I guess is another word for quirks back in the old days. He says your original plus some kind of unformed dud. And he's like, I thought that might be the case. And he starts thinking, and we cut between, you know, All for One thinking is like the meta ability I granted him was essentially absorbed by his own. to make up what he lacked, stolen in a sense. And I guess we listened to One for All talk about how he couldn't put a stop to his brother, and he's like, he kept me alive. He only sees other human beings as playthings or as prizes to win. And if only you could have found even a bit of compassion for others, the ability to both give and take could have been the kindest, most charitable power in the world. And we get a big 2-page spread of All for One killing all the One for All users.
A total pack fest.
Yeah.
Like
a pack parade, if you will.
yes.
A pack-a-palooza, if you must.
Packapalooza.
Just like one after another.
Why is he
getting
crying?
Dropped off.
Why is he crying when he's killing the first?
Crocodile tears.
Yeah, he's crying. It's fake crying, which is, I guess,
Oh.
he says, my crocodile tears serve to cause confusion and dismay.
Wow.
So he cried to confuse them? I don't know why. They're already dead in his hands.
Look, right before he kills
He's like,
Banjo,
I'm not soft. I just cried to confuse you and cause dismay.
I'm a man. I don't cry. I'm a man. But what were you saying, Brian?
Right before he kills Banjo, you see the doctor.
Oh yeah, I do see the doctor.
Yeah.
His bitch ass.
Damn, who the fuck did he chop in half?
The smokescreen guy.
God damn.
That was the meanest laugh I've ever heard out of Josh.
And All Might fucking punches his fucking head off. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, the next page is finally All Might punches the flying fuck out of him, which allows him to be that Lima Bean version of him.
Yeah. Our favorite version.
Yeah, the best version of of All for One, really. Is Lima Bean Corpse Man.
Yo. With the suit.
Yeah, he got knocked the fuck out in a suit and tie. Got to look good doing it, I guess. But yeah, after that, we cut to the present where All for One is just yelling. He's like, you're all to blame for it. And he's contemplating how this is even possible. He's like, no, Kudo's bloodline was ended, leaving nothing to chance. I even eliminated every woman and child he'd been close to. Jesus Christ.
Fuck.
Oh my god.
What a fucking hater.
That is crazy.
Jeez. He said
He really hated the second user, bro.
it was his least favorite user. Which you never want to be. The least favorite user of One for All. Or yeah,
like it's like he respect, like, all right. So the way he talks about All for One, not All for One, All Might and Nana Shimura is like, yeah, they were cool and shit, but he fucking hated Kudo. I don't know what the fuck Kudo did. Is it because he saved
yeah,
like he took Yuichi from him?
Yeah.
Is that why? I see.
He caused all the dominoes to start falling, basically. He
Yeah.
inspired the kid to stand up against his brother, and that also helped him manifest his quirk at the last minute as well. So it is all Kudo's fault.
What an
So he
asshole, am
erased
I right?
lineage. Oh.
What a dick.
Deleted his lineage.
Yeah.
You missed somebody, though.
He said, if Kudo's blood somehow runs through the boy's veins, surely I would have sensed it the first time. He said, it's all in the eyes. It's just an incidental resemblance, yet I'm convinced that a willful resolve resembling Kudo's has crossed space and time to thwart me. He's like, and then he starts thinking strategy. He's like, forcibly warping him away won't do much because the only viable warp points are All Might and Tomura, who are nearby to begin with. So, he's like, I can't afford to drag this battle out as it would shrink me further. So, conflict is inevitable, and he's already rejected me once. So I must save all my remaining strength to succeed in that transfer. And he's like, such was my thinking. But no, enough of this. Killing you, reaching my goal, executing the transfer are all one and the same. And then we get a big 2-page spread where I guess All for One starts using all of his quirks at the same time.
Holy shit. What the fuck?
Even
am I looking
Yoichi
at?
in the
Omni Factor Unleash. All for One goal.
yeah, even
This is a
Yoichi
genuine reaction because I didn't read this chapter, by the way.
really?
Yeah, I am. What the fuck am I looking at?
Big nasty man mass.
Yeah.
This is Bakugo's fight, by the way, because I. What the fuck
Yeah.
am I looking at?
Yeah.
GL. Good luck, Bakugo.
I mean, at least he's honest with himself because the chapter ends with Bakugo just looking at this and being like, "What the fuck? How am I gonna beat that?"
Mike screaming at him like, "Oh, just dodge it,
Dodge
Yeah.
it.
You
Yeah,
gotta
just dodge it.
He's like, "You want me to dodge this? It's bigger than this town."
I wonder if there are any characters we could recognize in those. Oh, you see Hawks.
No way.
Yeah, you see Hawks.
Now you got me
I don't
looking.
know. I don't know how to point it out to you where he is, but he's there. I see him.
All right, north, south. All right, if you use,
North, south.
I don't know, man. Whatever.
Is it towards the North Star, Brian?
It's like the top row.
Oh, I do
of
see it
Fate.
actually.
Yeah.
Did he absorb his quirk? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he took his wings.
Hmm.
Remember?
I actually don't remember, but I'll take it.
Who else did he take? Ragdoll?
Is Ragdoll
He
there?
took Ragdoll's
Yeah.
quirk, right?
Man, he took so many people's quirks. I don't even remember.
Where is she?
He's using all. He's using.
Oh
all the
yeah, I know who you're
destruct-
talking about. Ragdoll. The
Yeah, the one that could communicate telepathically.
I don't see her. Maybe he forgot about her.
yeah, I guess he's using all the offensive quirks that he can think of.
What the fuck am I even what is he doing?
He's
really?
I guess Edshot
The
explains that
most.
he's yeah, he's doing the most. A massive energy surge to fuel his propulsion. So I think he's just gonna slingshot himself using all this shit. He's doing the most. That's all you need to know, Brian. But yeah,
He's gonna ram himself forward with all that energy and just eradicate everything in his path until he reaches Shigaraki and then make the transfer forcibly.
What the fuck is I want Bakugo alone to handle this for some reason.
I think
Boy,
he
don't
is.
he
want
about to
anybody
shoot a
else but
beam.
Bakugo to
Dude,
handle this.
he's about to handle this by himself, which I'm cool with too.
Dude, this panel is so fucking sick, man. Oh,
He's gonna-
Haruko
he's
Shigaraki is
gonna-
so good.
He's gonna take a T pose in midair and draw on the power of Jesus Christ and then shoot a holy blast right through All for One.
Well, speaking of
It's
which,
gonna be
I
righteous.
guess we could talk about how we feel. Josh, what did you think about this chapter?
That's what I thought.
That he's gonna become
Um,
Jesus Christ to beat all for one.
No, draw on the power.
Of course, no one can be
of
Jesus.
Faith in Jesus Christ. Right. Very few. So, no, aside from that point, I thought this what stood out to me more than anything else in this chapter was the art and like literally the expressions of All for One as he was doing what he was doing. I'm at this point I'm fine with accepting he's just this he's like this what do you call that? It is a comic, but not even generic. I don't know what's the word to use for villain, but he doesn't have like this anything self-righteous about him. He knows he's being selfish and he embraces it. So, I accept that and that's just who he is as a villain. He is a force of nature that needs to be stopped. And, sometimes it'd be like that, I guess. Uh, man, I like that we were reminded that All For One did end his shit. Like that, all of these dudes, like it was nice that after like seeing them all get bodied, the very next page was All For One finally like thinking that he sealed the deal. He was holding him in a pool of blood. It took me a moment to realize what that panel was. If y'all go to page 9
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
look at the top right, like that's blood. He's just leaking.
Yep.
He was a corpse down there. And then the doctor came through like, I'm gonna take your body.
I'm going to save you.
Let me heal it. And do weird stuff when you don't know. He did so much weird things with that body
I'm going
before
to
he
do weird
brought him
things
back
while
to
you're
life.
asleep.
And he prayed. He prayed somehow that he wasn't conscious during any of that, and that he was true. You know what I'm saying?
was the
That
first thing
was
he
in the-
asked.
Essentially, a vegetable.
When All For One woke up, it was the first thing he was like, "Hey,
Did you notice anything weird happening while you were like knocked out? Just asking.
Yeah.
Were those all your thoughts?
So, pretty much, I've accepted All For One for who he is, and let's see what he's got in this final attack. He's a beast. Give it to him. He's nice. Him healing automatically helps a lot, but he was still a monster regardless. And those are all my thoughts.
Brian, what did you think?
Horikoshi's art is so fucking incredible, man. But that's just every week with this guy, honestly. He's just built fucking different when it comes to drawing. I just can't even fathom how he does this shit in a week. It is mind-boggling. But aside from that, I really like that. I guess they're implying that Bakugo isn't related to Kudo.
Yeah, I think
But-
he's confirming that it's an incidental resemblance.
Which I kind of like more.
Yeah,
to
I'm
be
okay with it.
honest.
I'm okay
I
with
feel
it.
like that was pretty sick that that he just kind of has a resemblance, and that's enough to really fuck up all for one. He's just like, bro, I was such a fucking hater. I was a next level hater, and this motherfucker still is bothering me. Like fucking hundreds of years later. This was pretty fucking sick. I really like this for some reason. I don't know why. I kind of wish we could have seen more of like the past One For All users. Like I would have loved to see like a full fight of Prime All Might versus Prime All For One. That would have been fucking sick. But the way that like his paneling and his art, like this chapter was so fucking well done in terms of like how it's presented. The way everything is presented in this chapter is almost flawless. It's so fucking good. I feel like I've said it before, but I feel like Horikoshi has a future in being just an artist for a mangaka. Because man, this guy is fucking phenomenal. Like wow. Like this art is so fucking good. It like blows my mind every fucking week, man. Like I love the way this guy like does his paneling and and how he tells a story with his art. It's like he's kind of like the opposite of Togashi and Akutami, right? Where those two are really good at like explaining things like by writing it down, when Horikoshi is really good at telling a story through its visual without having to really say much, which has its drawbacks, of course, like both styles do. But man, when you can draw like this, I feel like it's easy to forget about how about the fuck ups, you know? Like this art is so incredibly good. And he's easily probably the best artist in the weekly Shonen Jump right now. Like nobody really even gets close. So those are all my thoughts really. Like, man, I'm excited for next week to see what the fuck he draws next. Cause goddamn, man, so good.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about how good Horikoshi's art is here every week, so I'll try not to mirror that too much. I will say though, I agree. I do like that. Bakugo's is kind of like an incidental
Yeah.
relation.
So it's
Oh, Josh,
it's
wait,
funny
you're cutting off.
because
Hello.
Joshua Cole.
Oh, he'll be right back. But anyway,
Okay.
like
oh, he's mega delayed. Anyway, yeah, I also do think it's such a because there's like such a trope in manga that like everybody's got to be connected to somebody in a sense, and I like that they kind of broke away from that in this, even though we were all supposing that they had some kind of relationship because they look the same, and I'm glad that like that was kind of like flipped on its head a little bit, and Bakugo is his own person, doing this. And I think it's more of a testament also to Kudo and his impact on the story that this guy hates him so much that he even hates people who kind of look like him.
Yeah.
Like people who kind of look like him give him PTSD. So
Yeah, in a sense, like him, like Kudo and All Might are the people who had the most influence on All for One, which is kind of wild.
Yeah. So I like that a lot. I love that Bakugo's getting his chance to shine here. I mean, it's warranted. He is basically the secondary protagonist of the series, so it is.
And it took about a year for him to come back into the story.
Did it really? Was it really that long?
Yeah, it was a pretty long time that
Wow.
Bakugo had died.
I'm trying to remember when he quote unquote died. But,
I got a way to figure out the exact day.
well, you let me know.
Let's see.
It'd be crazy if it was December last year. No way.
It was October 5th of last year.
God damn.
Yeah, that was when
I guess he
died.
did take like a month off though. So, right? Am I remembering that wrong?
Was it a month? Really?
I feel like this year he took like maybe not a month, but an extended period of time off.
I don't remember. A lot of shit happened this year.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Guess who's back?
Back again.
Yeah, but
Josh A's back.
anyway, those are really all my thoughts on My Hero Academia. Aside from the obvious art stuff, but pretty cool. I would, it is what it is at this point, but it really would have been it would have been cool to see an extended, I guess flashback of this era of My Hero Academia, just because I like lore and world building. So that would have been a nice little touch, but it is what it is. I think we got, the important information, which is important. So,
Of course, it's important. Yes.
it's very important. This important information that is very important.
I agree. Very important information.
Very.
yes.
Quite. But those are all my thoughts. Do we have any rebuttals or anything?
Nope.
No. Anyway, let us move onward then, yeah?
Yeah.
Y'all?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm trying to get to the soundboard. Soundboard? Okay. Jujutsu Kaisen. This is Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 244. Inhuman Makyo Shinjuku Showdown part 16. We're back to the Inhuman Makyo Shinjuku Showdown. We took a miniature break to deal with Kenjaku. But we're back in Shinjuku, where we left off with them is that Sukuna has finally taken his full form, and Higuruma and Itadori have come up to face Sukuna themselves. And a lot of this chapter is dedicated to the thought process as to why these two specifically were chosen to go after Kashimo. And-
Literally, this is like the embodiment of the contrast between Horikoshi and Gege, like in fold,
Yeah.
like right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, this sure is. So we have damn, what's this guy's name? I remembered it like last week, but I forgot it this time.
On
You
I
said
can't.
He's one of the teachers for Kyoto, I know. But
Shit. You keep going. I'll look it up.
yeah, the teacher guy is basically explaining that, you know, the whole plan was to have Takaba create an opening and Okotsu finish him off. But that only happens when they have confirmation that Gojo has lost, which they obviously did get. So that's what happened. But Okotsu will have to hustle back fast. He said, seriously. And he says, against Sukuna, it'll be an all-out war, but we still got to decide who's going to fight. And Kashimo, which, come on. He said, are they dumb? If it's an all-out war, everybody fights, and I'm first. And
Come on. That's not fair. He didn't know he was gonna get his ass beat.
well, nobody knows they're going to get their ass beat when they go into an ass beating. But they do anyway. You ever know somebody who knew they were going to get an ass beating when they walked into an ass beating?
all I know is that there was so much smoke until niggas get cut apart.
Right? So,
It's kind of crazy how that works.
yeah. I think his name is Kusakabe now that I'm remembering.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the teacher.
Kusakabe.
Yes! Nailed it.
I couldn't. He's just not showing up on the list of fucking characters for some reason.
That's so weird because he talks so much in the series. He has so much
He's just.
dialogue.
Yeah.
I've been scrolling for so long and he has not shown up.
So he basically says there's no point in sending someone to the front who will die right away without even creating an opening, like Miwa, because not only does she lack skills, but apparently she imposed a binding vow on herself to never swing a katana again. And even if she didn't,
In the arc.
yeah, and even if she didn't,
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either. But Geto would block her attack anyway because he's done it before. So basically, they explain that a sorcerer should be able to use their cursed energy to reject Tengen's merger with the people of Japan. If Sukuna and Kenjaku win, and the monstrous offspring of the merger wreaks havoc all over the world, there's a chance some people could survive. If Kenjaku survives, he'll kill anybody who's a player in the culling game. So they got to get rid of him first. Because even then, survival is possible for a few days. Longer if only Sukuna wins and survives. So at that point, Kamo just bails. Kamo is just like, I'm out. I want to protect my family. I intend to flee with them overseas. Really? And Kusakabe is like,
Oh, that's the bloodbending dude, right?
yeah, that's Kamo. And Kusakabe is like, all right. I mean, you know, if you don't want it, you can't get it. You could leave. Which is reasonable, I guess. So he says, combatants will include anyone with reverse curse technique and anyone who wants to die or doesn't mind dying. Everyone else can, you know, not be there if they don't feel it. Higuruma immediately volunteers to go in after Kashimo because his curse technique can confiscate Sukuna's curse technique. Higuruma's like, he's acting like he expects me to lose. You do lose, buddy.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that.
So he explains that if he receives a death sentence, he can fight Sukuna with the Executioner's sword, which is a one-hit blow, no matter who you are. Which is a one-hit kill, I mean, no matter who you are. But Kusakabe is like, well, you know, that'd be great, but the ruling may not be confiscation or death, right? And it just depends on the charges Judgment brings against Sukuna, which is something that's out of Higuruma's control usually. Itadori fills him in on 3 crimes that he's aware of already. The deaths at the detention center in Shibuya and the massacre of Shibuya. And also, the Fushiguro, taking over Megumi's body. And he's like, given those crimes, isn't a death sentence likely? And Higuruma's like, I don't think so. First there's the Itadori High School, bodily injury on Itadori, attempted murder of Gojo. Then there's the detention center, the Shibuya object, the Shibuya thing, and the possession of Megumi. So, it'll be hard to. He basically makes the point that it'll be basically hard to accuse Sukuna of crimes due to the cursed objects that are his fingers. So, he's technically indirectly responsible for all of the crimes. Even when Jinpei's mom died, he's kind of indirectly responsible for that because he was just a finger, and it was another curse drawn in by that finger. So he has to be directly responsible for crimes in order to bring him to. And even if, and this is like kind of, I guess, I'm truncating the chapter here, but basically, not only that, they don't have control over what Judgment will charge him with, and Judgment will only charge him for one murder at a time, basically, or one offense at a time. It doesn't even have to be a murder, because he brings up the example of, like, for example, if you stab someone, you are physically attacking them, but you also tear their clothing. So in theory, Judgment could just charge him for property damage instead of the actual stabbing, the actual physical harm of a person. And Itadori remembers that, like, well, he did accuse me of entering a pachinko parlor, so I guess it doesn't really matter what crimes, it doesn't matter what crimes we tell you, he'll just accuse him of whatever he wants. And he says another problem is crimes committed 1,000 years ago, because of technical statute of limitations issues.
Yeah.
Which, can be either taken into account or not taken into account. So there's a lot of unknowns when dealing with Judgment. So
God, this is the most fucking Hunter x Hunter chapter I've ever read.
Honestly, it's not as confusing as it seems. I feel like Hunter x Hunter has been worse.
No. I'm not saying it's confusing. I'm just saying the way that things are being explained right now.
Oh yeah,
like
they're
this
covering their
reads
bases.
like Hunter x Hunter.
They're covering bases, but
they are covering their bases for sure.
Well, I also think
I live for this shit.
I love it too.
I love Hunter x Hunter.
Honestly, I think it's also, to involve conflict to make sure that Judgment isn't exactly an end-all be-all. Because in theory, Judgment would be able to wrap this up.
Yeah.
So they have to nerf him a little bit. Not necessarily, I guess, it's not the right word, but in theory, just like introduce the possibility that Judgment may not work. So yeah. Everybody's not sure exactly how this is going to work, but Itadori mentions that there may be a sure way to get Sukuna the death penalty. And it's at this point we cut to the present, where a bunch of crows are attacking Sukuna, but Sukuna easily shocks them down with lightning. So, after that distraction, Higuruma and Itadori get close. Itadori does some stuff with his super cool new arms. I'm not sure. I'm wondering, yeah, I don't know what these are. I don't know what his deal is, and we don't get an explanation this chapter, so.
Yeah, not yet. But he's punching the rocks at Sukuna from the debris.
Yeah, and at that point, Higuruma grabs him with his hammer thing. Itadori punches him. Sukuna blocks it, and then something happens that causes Sukuna to be like, "Whoa, what was that?" But it's at that point that that Higuruma activates his domain, and we get the flashback to Itadori explaining a third trial. is the solution. What if we redo my trial against you, but involve Sukuna? Then you can prosecute Sukuna for the slaughter of Shibuya. Because if you remember when they first fought, Yuji was on trial for the massacre in Shibuya. And basically the idea is to do a retrial of that same trial and have Sukuna act as a co-defendant. So in theory, it's a possibility that both of them would be found guilty, at the worst, they'd be found guilty, and he'd probably get a death penalty or confiscation for that. So Judge Man comes in, and because it's a retrial, he brings out the sentencing. He says Yuji stands accused of mass murder in Shibuya on October 31st, 2018. And Higuruma says Itadori didn't kill anyone. His confession during the second trial was due to irrational feelings of guilt. And he pulls up an envelope with the evidence, and he says that the real killer is... And we see Sukuna in the panel smiling, cheesing up. He's like, yeah, that was me. Walk myself to the court. Bitch, I did that.
I don't like how happy Sukuna is right now.
Yeah, that's where the chapter ends, though. Josh, what did you think about Jujutsu
Yeah,
Kaisen
he's
chapter
so
244? Sorry.
Yeah. I don't like how happy he is either. I feel like he's ready. He's ready. He's like, you punk ass motherfuckers. Yeah, I did it. So fucking what, Judge Man? What you gonna do? Like, I'm the king of curses. I know you. You know what I'm saying? You want me to open them fucking eyes up for you? Cut them up some more? I don't know. Like, you think he's got the finesse like Kenjax? Can't even say I can't do it no more, bro. He's a pack. He's not that smart, man. Sukuna's talented, but he's not that smart.
Sukuna, what do you mean? Sukuna probably understands. Well, not probably. Definitely understands curse technique more than anybody in the entire series. He's seen this technique before.
Yeah.
He's already
You
seen
think
it before
so?
too.
Who, Sukuna?
Oh wow! While he was with Yuji.
Yeah, Sukuna's seen this
Oh
this
no!
exact technique before and the domain. So
Oh,
probably already
Higuruma's gonna
knows
get
about
cut.
everything that they're trying to do.
Yeah,
Oh
maybe.
my god! Higuruma's going to get sliced.
I don't think he's gonna get sliced,
Just
but
like Gojo.
Higuruma is a good lawyer, but chances are Sukuna is a better jujutsu lawyer, if that makes sense. Like, this guy understands. He understands jujutsu and curse technique better than literally everybody. So he has the edge in this court case, in my opinion. Because I feel like he can find a way to explain himself out of being responsible for this. So this could easily backfire and have Yuji be the fucking person who's found guilty. Because at the end of the day, like, Sukuna's kind of like a cursed object more than a cursed spirit or a person, right?
It's hard to define.
Oh, he might bring it back to how it was negligent for him to eat the finger and manifest him in the first place.
Yeah, so there's a chance that, like,
maybe,
because you can't make a gun guilty for a crime. You make the shooter guilty, right?
Yeah, I guess it depends on in this moment, because he did technically take over his body. So Sukuna was a being in this time. And he's here not as the sole defendant. So whatever happens here will probably be split between him and Yuji.
Isn't Yuji also like a cursed object too, though?
No, he's a person.
I thought he was explained as a cursed.
Are you a cursed object, Brian?
No, in the very beginning they considered him a cursed spirit because he had Sukuna. But no, he's technically like a human. He's not an object for sure. And I think like the argument
He's a
here,
vessel.
I think that what they're aiming for is that both of them will be found guilty.
I thought Kenjaku said that Yuji was an object.
I don't know. I don't remember that far back, but
I think it happened like semi recently. No,
Hmm,
I don't know. Maybe I'm just misremembering.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know for sure. But I don't know, Josh. I don't know if you finished your thoughts, Josh.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, is our boy dead?
I kind of need him not
Have
to
me
be.
dead.
I really like Yusuke Higuruma. We're losing too many people. I can't deal with his loss too.
Somehow Fushiguro.
Oh, yeah, Fushiguro might be technically dead, yes.
No, I don't think he's dead.
I said that's why I said
Yuji has an out for him, in my opinion. Like Yuji being around means that Megumi can still survive this.
oh, we'll see.
Just because of his whole body swap thing.
Well, we don't know that's what he has.
Yeah, but it's highly implying that it is what he has.
Mm. Well, I guess what did you think, Brian?
This made me feel so reading this chapter made me feel so happy because it reminded me of Hunter x Hunter. Reading it, I was like, man, I miss Hunter x Hunter. So while reading, I love it when series get into the fucking nitty gritty of the fucking of the power system, and they're like talking about rules and how things work and all that. Man, it just felt so nice to read all this. I know some people are like, man, they could have fucking handled this in like 3 pages. But that takes away the fun, you know? Like, it's nice to see people, like, characters, like, thinking and talking and not immediately finding answers to problems, you know? Like, it shows that they are people who are living in a world where, like, you know, they don't know everything. And they're trying to, like, kind of plan out and have things put together. It's just really fucking cool. The character work in this chapter was so fucking good. Everybody and Yuji kind of surprised me this chapter because he was like really active in the conversation about things. Like, I feel like Yuji isn't really known for being a like an intelligent like understander of curse technique, if that makes sense. Like, he's not who I think of when it comes to like crafting a plan, but he was out here participating and trying to figure shit out. It just shows a lot of like character development. Like he's not just talking about, yo, let's just go over there and punch him. Like, he's legitimately contributing and adding good ideas to conversations and shit. Like, this is a very interesting character development for Yuji. And he's so young too. So this was like a really cool chapter. It makes me miss Hunter x Hunter a lot, but man, pretty good chapter. If only One Piece didn't come out this week, this would have definitely gotten it for me.
Yeah. Well, this is my really good chapter of the week, if that helps.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
I will say though, it was tough to pick a really good chapter of the week. I feel like all the chapters were just kind of equally good this week. But I picked JJK because you know, it is. I feel the same way as Brian, where I did enjoy reading like the technical breakdown of Judge Man. It did help to add some suspense to the whole situation, and you know, finding a practical solution for things, as JJK is really good at doing. So that was fun. It was good to see Itadori use these arms. I can't wait to find out what the fuck they're about, what they do. Like they're different for a reason. They have to be. Maybe they're curse tools. I don't know. They're like these little gauntlet armor things for your forearms.
That's what I think. I think they're cursed tools.
But yeah, I mean, I don't have that many thoughts, honestly. I just like, that they took the time to really like think about this chapter and what it means and all the abilities associated. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I don't see like a timetable for the next chapter, so that I can only assume that next week Jujutsu Kaisen will be off, which is unfortunate because I'm very excited to find out what happens next. But yeah, this was a very enjoyable chapter for me to read. I really enjoyed it, and it's as simple as that sometimes, Do we have any more thoughts before we move on to the final series of the week?
R.I.P. to May's crows and confidence.
Yeah, Mei had her crows destroyed. But all right, let's move on. Undead Unluck. And with that, I'm going to toss it over to Josh Cole. Take it away.
I will, as soon as I find it on the page. Okay, I have to go to see all. Damn, it was far. Okay. Undead Unluck, chapter number 186. Senpen Banka. I have no idea what that means.
I also don't know what that means.
Last week, Fuko and the future user of Unburn decided to get into a ramen cook-off, Shokugeki no Soma style, and Fuko swore that she would show him what the missing ingredient was, or what he was lacking in order to make the perfect ramen or his best ramen. So, yeah, at the beginning of this chapter, we cut to the previous loop in August 2nd, 2020. COVID, damn. I guess it's Andy's talking about how he's never been to a Japanese food cart. And Fugo's like, yeah, me neither. It's been like 10 years since they've eaten at a restaurant, probably because of the unluck ability. And that's when Andy mentions that there's like he heard of a ramen cart that travels around the world. And that, basically eventually, because of what they'll be doing with Union, they'll most likely be traveling in the world, which they were, and they're bound to run into him. Then we cut to the future where Fuko had finally finished the ramen that she wanted to serve for the competition up to Engine. That's his name, right? Engine?
Yeah, that's
Engine,
him.
right? Yeah. Okay. Now I want to make sure I'm saying it right. It sounds like engine, like a car engine, right? Like I'm not.
Yeah.
Engine.
Engine. I think it's engine.
Engine.
Engine. Maybe it's engine. I don't know.
And he's like, there's so much smoke. But it looks no different from his own ramen.
Would you say that it's
Can't be.
all the smoke?
Yeah, coming from Fuko. Sure.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
She always wants it. She always wants smoke. Positive smoke, like weed. So Mr. Engine, your ramen is indeed the mightiest. It's beloved by many, and puts smiles on the faces of all who taste it. But this iteration of it doesn't hold a candle to the flavor you achieved in the past. So she's trying to explain to him that he's lacking something. And because of his teachings to her back then, she is able to create the sickest ramen made for Engine. So everybody gets served it. They all try it. And most of the people are like, "Oh, this shit is kind of trash. Like this ain't even, and it's not even like hot. Like like this shit is like warm. Like someone said it's mediocre at best. Um, Unchanged is, uh, you know, upset because they talking shit about the ramen that they all worked mad hard to make, and Engine is like, what is? All right, well, like we cut the Engine and he's crying with the ramen bowl in his hand. And people are like, damn, like, was it that bad? Come on, like, you don't got cry. um, and then one of the kids is like, look, mommy, I can eat it without having to blow on it. And the woman is like, yes, you don't handle hot foods well. Maybe next time I'll try making ramen like this at home. So the kid is like, yeah, I don't have to burn my mouth. Forbid you learn how to blow on your food. And then Engine looks at Fuku and he's like, you asked my old lady? And she's like, no. I noticed you seem to be having a hard time when taste testing earlier. That's all. I guess because it was too fucking hot for him. That's mad funny. So he finishes the whole bowl, drinking it straight from the bowl, like when you finish your cereal. And they're in Japan, so like it's okay, guys. It's all right. He's like, I see. Thanks for the grub. Fugo's like, all right, looks like we lost. So we'll eat the leftovers and just like, look, you lost the match, but I got the message. Like I won.
Make no
I
mistake.
got the message. So he's like, yeah, I see now. All this time has been right under my nose. I wanted to make the best ramen around. I'm talking the cream of the crop. So I went on a journey, and he traveled around the world, and he came up empty-handed. And he came to the conclusion that winning the adoration, of the most people possible is what being the Midas was about, and that's what led him to the version of his dish that he feels is the best right now. But then he goes on to say that the answer was basically hiding in plain sight, and that you make a dish with a person in mind. Do that, and anything you make will be the best. The ramen you guys made was the best without a doubt. So they're all laughing. Nico's like, "Oh, it only resonates with a handful of cooks," and whatever. They're all like, "Yeah, yeah." So he's like, "All right, bet, time to get it cracking. I've got someone I've been meaning to feed, so I'm about to whip up this dish," and then he's about to start cooking, and then unburn activates immediately. And he's trying to click the stove. Nico's like, "Damn, it manifested," and Fuku's like, "Yeah." And they're all like, what the heck? And he's just, he keeps trying to, you could see all the sound effects of him trying to click the fire on. He's like, what the heck? Like, is this thing out of gas? He's checking. He's like, no. And then Fuko interrupts him. She's like, look, my guy pulled up on the cloud and he has a kitchen waiting for you on the other side of this cloud trip. Are you down? And then he's like, yes. I want to make this dish for someone important, which is his mom. Because they fly to a hospital, and she's unfortunately terminally ill. Seems that she had hidden the fact that she's been terminally ill from Engine, but he found out anyway, and that's why he's been going so hard to try to make the best ramen he could. But he claims that he's finally made like the ramen he wants to make for her. And she's like, nah, I can't do it. The doctor says I'll die if I eat solid food. I'm like, bitch, you gonna die anyway, all right? Eat this fucking ramen. And she says, oh well, I don't have long either way. I was like, yo, that's kind of crazy. Anyway, so like, yo, so Unchanged is like, is this really okay? And the guys, one of them is, I think Rip is like, yeah, just watch it. And I'm like, yeah, let me see this shit. So she tries the soup and she's like, wow, what is this? The noodles and ingredients are mild. Then once you savor the texture, it melts in your mouth. Pause. It's delicious. It's very warm.
Warm. Pause.
And then he stops, puts his super duper shonen double brim down, and says, "It's because I'm your son. That's why it's so warm." And then he's like, "All right, bet. Can we feed the other patients?" And they're like, "Yeah, once we look over the record files and all that, sure." So boom, everyone gets fed. It's a happy, nice time, like in One Piece. And Engine pulls up to Fuko immediately and is like, he says, "I have no more regrets. I would have never made it in here in time without your help, just before my mom dies. I'm in your debt, Fuko, forever. I will do anything." And he's crying. And she's like, "Nah, don't worry about it. I'm the one repaying a debt, honestly, at the end of the day." And he's like, "That means it's my turn." So, he's just willing to help her. Obviously, he's probably, he's going to join the union. So, he was talking about Unburn or whatever, and he just goes into full shonen mode, like Chris has been saying. And he's just like, "I don't know what it is you need, but I, Engine Bob, will give you my word. Like, I don't give a fuck what we got to do." But I'm going to quote him directly when he says, "Whether it's running a delivery to the ends of the galaxy or kicking the Lord Almighty's ass, I'll take whatever you're dishing out." And Fuku's like, "That's good, because that's exactly what we need you to do." And he's like, "Wait, what?" He's like, "Yeah, we need to travel to the sun so you can get my boyfriend off of it, and then we're going to go kill God. So let's go." And that was the end of the chapter. Before you give... Well, it's the last chapter, so obviously this is my RGC.
Yeah.
Oh,
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
You want me to say my thoughts first? Or?
all right, Chris. Yes, I do want you to say your thoughts first, but I looked up what truncating means.
Oh, wow. That was a long time ago. I said that.
That wasn't that long ago, but I looked it up then and didn't bring it up. Truncating is the act of making something shorter or quicker, especially by removing the end of it. For example, you can truncate a word by cutting off the last syllable, or truncate a sentence by omitting the final clause. Truncating can also be used in okay. So
I guess I technically
were
used it
you
wrong.
truncating?
Yeah, I guess I technically used it wrong. I didn't know it was like by eliminating the last part of a sentence.
I think that's just in that case. I think truncating is still appropriate because you cut off, kind of going page by page to just give your analysis or own
No.
summary of it at that
No,
point.
I'm stupid. I fucked
No,
up.
that's not.
I fucked up, man.
Oh,
I'm stupid.
well, if you must.
I fucked up, man. I don't know how I'll be able to repay myself. I don't know how I'm going to redeem myself here.
Maybe you got to read Hajime no Ippo again.
I am, actually. Now that it's being
From the beginning
serialized in
again.
America.
You have to watch him. You have to watch him catch the leaf.
I did. I'm pretty
lit.
deep into, well, as far as the official releases, but that's neither here nor there. Undead Unluck, man, what a fucking good chapter. Honestly, I kind of regret giving my chapter to JJK because I just remembered how nice this chapter was and how funny it was. This was a stellar chapter, to be honest, and I thought that his hat being ripped apart when he flew through the wall is a funny way of explaining why his original design had like a weird shape in the brim and why he wears it like this. Why doesn't he just throw this hat away? But
I don't get it. What?
the double brim, it wasn't always like this. It broke when he flew through the wall. That's why it's a double brim hat.
Now it's only one brim.
No, it's a two brim hat.
No, it's still two brim.
Yeah.
It was
In the beginning of the chapter, it's one brim. But then he broke it crashing through the wall.
Oh shit! You're right. What the fuck?
And he still wears it like this. Like that's how he wore it in the original loop.
That's crazy.
He's just walking around with a fucking broken hat. Which is a fun design. I don't mind it. It reminds me kind of JoJo. But
I'm with my OCD.
Hmm?
It's messing with my OCD.
oh really? That he's just wearing a ripped up hat for no reason?
Yeah. Fix it. Get a new one, please.
Fix it. He won't. He'll wear this for the rest of the series. It's over.
It's over.
Yeah, but I thought this was like a nice, heartwarming chapter. I liked his relationship with his mom a lot. It was really funny. Because she was immediately like, no can do. The doctor says I'll die if I eat solid food, which is insane. What kind of fucking disease does she have? That she'll die. But yeah, this chapter was very shonen. I love it. I'm very much enjoying Undead Unluck and the direction it's going right now. So having a great time reading Undead Unluck. Josh, what did you think?
Yeah, like I said, this is my RGC. This chapter hit personal for me because I just started cooking myself recently in life, like over the last 2.5 years. And I can say without a shadow of doubt that my best dishes have been when I've made it for someone or thinking of how I would like to show it to somebody. You know what I mean? And present it to them in the future or something like that. You know, whenever it's felt like a sort of group task or, not whenever I cook just for myself, I'm very lazy and very quick about it, you know, and it's whatever. So I just that really resonated with me, and I have to give this series credit. I mentioned this earlier in the pre-show, but Undead Unluck has left an impact on my life, which is kind of crazy because it's different when you're an impressionable teenager and 20-year-old. But I'm 30 years old, still 31 years old, still young, still have a lot to learn and grow. But I have a really solid foundation because of all of my experience up to this point, and I'm really impressed when this sort of fiction can change my perception on things. It's helped me kind of reflect on the intent behind relationships, like how much does someone mean to you, and what does it what how much effort, and what is considered effort to really make somebody happy or make someone know that you're thinking about them. It's I feel like Undead Unluck has a way of uncomplicating a lot of these feelings of like love we have towards like the different people in our life, like whether that's romantic partners or your family or friendships. You know what I'm saying? They always reduce it down to very simple, hey, if these things make you happy, you know, work together, to make each other happy and maintain good things going. It's just very bare bones, and I like how Fuko and all the other characters, again and again prove that they can win with like positivity and that a better life is worth fighting for, even if it's fighting against the creator of everything. That shit hits for me. This is
Yeah.
a real ass fucking series. Not new, but longtime listeners and followers of Undead Unluck know we've said this plenty of times that this is a series that was way deeper than we imagined it could be in the beginning. And we're not talking like how like a lore rich series like how One Piece got super duper deep with its world building. Just you know, in 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 pure meaning, like through the pages. And the messages that get across. So yeah, I felt all of that with this. I didn't care too much about Unburned, to be honest, and now I do a little bit. And I like how he's integral to the mission of getting Andy. this could have been one chapter, but he, like the author decided to make it like three chapters and give it some time and space. I really, really enjoy that about this series. It's refreshing.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
And,
I think. Oh, sorry, Josh. Hmm?
No. Those are my thoughts.
Oh yeah. No, I wanted to say that I think you're like that's such a good point about how Undead Unluck simplifies just kind of like the love that people are supposed to have for each other. I think that's a lot of manga, to be honest. Um, it's just you should do things for folks because you love them. You should like fight for people because you love them. And I think like, and it's like a thoughtfulness in this that is being like taught here, which is very sweet. I also I appreciate this chapter a lot. And who would have thought a few years ago we were like Undead Unluck is over. We were like, this series is almost done.
Right? That was more than a year ago, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, over a year ago, man. Maybe it could be very well 2 years ago.
Damn.
They were like, Undead Unluck is over.
He was fighting off against those Umas. Remember those big ass Umas?
Mhm.
The insect Uma, and he was it was dire.
Yeah, and I feel like he's giving this time that he didn't. My instinct says that he wasn't given this kind of time before. I feel like he is now in a safe. Tezuka's in a safe enough place in his rankings in his series that he is able to really explore these dynamics and characters, which is why we're getting so much time spent with characters that we didn't spend time with in the original loop. So it's good to let him feel that kind of just sense of security, in a sense, to just like take his time with his stories and not have to jump to the next exciting thing immediately. I think that's done wonders for Undead Unluck, and I feel like a lot of series would benefit from that kind of safety or that feeling of safety. But yeah, Undead Unluck has been popping off. Those are all my thoughts. That's it for real this time. Are we ready to bring this one home?
Yes, but I have one last question.
All right.
Who you got in a fight?
No boy.
Okay. Thors from Vinland Saga versus Kuma without the fruit.
Kuma. Because he's still a buccaneer.
Yeah, but Thors is a Yoms Viking.
This is true, but like buccaneers are like super strong and like impervious. How far are you in Vinland Saga, by the way?
Thors I actually stopped a little while ago, but I'm still interested in it. I'm gonna continue.
Yeah, I just started up a while ago again.
Bro, the king, the prince turned up.
Oh, you made it pretty far.
Gangster now.
Canute.
He said, "I'm ready to die. I'm ready to fucking die.
I'm ready to
Fuck
die.
you, Dad. I'm ready to die." What, nigga? That's what he told his dad. And he said, "Son, I would never kill you directly.
I'm going to do some shiesty shit to get you killed instead."
Yes. But enjoy the feast and enjoy your rest.
All right. Well, was that everything?
Yes.
All right. Well, that has been Undead Unluck, and that has been our show. Thank you guys so much for listening. As per usual, you can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Check out the Shweekly podcast. Brian is at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram, and you can catch him where he's streaming at twitch.tv/itspunchline. And Josh Cole is at jdcole_37 on Instagram, at New Gym City Josh on Twitter. Follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Email the show at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. And we'll answer it on a pre-show chat show that we do and release a couple days after every episode comes out. So, the next one will be on Wednesday. Very excited about it. Yeah, subscribe to the YouTube while you're at it. Like, share, comment, all that stuff.
Yo,
What?
if you got Buccaneer blood, send us an email and let us know.
Yeah, let us know if you're a Buccaneer. And we'll hide you from the government because they don't like you very much, it seems.
We'll help.
Yeah, so yeah, comment whether you're a Buccaneer on the YouTube or, wherever you want. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. We're still audio only at the moment, but we're on the path to getting back to video soon. So just hang tight, everybody. We'll be back soon. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for listening. As usual, we will see you guys next week. Stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Peace out. Brian's back, but not really because he's gone.
Yeah, he just left, but it's fine. He is technically back. All right, bye.